Hello, first grade students. This is Mr. Paul. We are talking about tangrams, and this is what a tangram looks like. It's a series of geometric shapes. And I apologize to the students that are in remote. I want to start by getting you prepared to have a piece of paper that looks like this shape. So as you can see, it's a square, a perfect square. And I wanted to kind of demonstrate how we could make a square with a regular piece of paper. So let's start by doing that. And to do that, we're just going to take our piece of paper and we're going to fold it in half. So this is a regular piece of paper. And if it's a thin piece of paper that's a piece of copy paper, then it should be easy to unfold. And actually, you can go along that crease that you just folded and tear it down so that it becomes half of its regular size. Now, here's the part where we can make a square. So we want to take this square, we want to take this rectangle and turn it into a square. And to do that, that means that we need to just do the same thing. We want to fold a piece of paper, but don't fold it in half because that won't make a square. That's still a rectangle. We want to fold this piece of paper till it looks like it makes a square. Do you see that? That the two sides or the four sides are all about the same length. So when you have your piece of paper, again, this is the piece of paper you just made, crease that so it looks like a square, and then you can tear off this excess. Again, if you crease this extra firm, you could just tear along that fold. And now you've got a nice square piece of paper, which looks very similar to the square that if you were here in person, I'd be able to provide for you. Now we want to draw these lines. And let me see if I can darken my video a little bit, just so that you can see those lines a little bit better. So you can see we've got a series of diagonal lines and vertical lines that are going to make the 7 shapes that we need in our tangram. So we're going to start. Look at this main line right here. This is a diagonal that goes from the one corner to another corner. So all we need to do is take our pencil, and we're not worried about drawing this exact. So, just do as straight a line as you can going from one corner to the other. Now, let's take a look at another diagonal line. This one goes from about the halfway point on this side to the halfway point on this side. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to look at my square here, and I'm going to draw a line that follows this same diagonal that goes through the middle of this square. And I've got a line that goes from this halfway point to this halfway point. Now we can see one more really long diagonal. This one goes from this corner. It doesn't go all the way down to this corner, but it stops when it hits this line. So we want to start another diagonal line. This one's coming from this corner, and it's going down, but it stops when it hits that second line that we drew. Now we want to try to create a diamond shape, or what is actually a smaller square turned on its side. We've got most of those lines drawn. All we have to do is draw this side of that square. So do another line that goes back up till it stops and hits this line. Now we just need to draw one more line to have all of our 7 shapes. And that's this vertical line that's going from this spot to create another little triangle shape. What we're going to end up with, and let's draw that. Again, this line is even with this side of the square. So just draw a line straight up. And what that's going to make for us are two small triangles, 1, 2, one medium-sized triangle, that's our third shape, two big triangles, 4 and 5, and then a square, 6, and this is called a parallelogram. That's our 7th shape. So that's how those of you in remote can draw a shape or a tangram diagram that looks very similar to this diagram. And I'll try to help you in class as well. Thank you so much for listening.